Hi everyone! I'm sure you're all very excited to learn how to be on duty, so welcome to How to Be on Duty, the module. The purpose of this module is to help you maximize your time on duty. At the end, you'll complete an assessment, so please pay attention. A quick overview of what we're going to discuss in this module are serving your office hours, the administrative duties that your supervisor will let you know to do throughout the year, programming initiatives. You can knock out a program while you're on duty, so that's really awesome. You'll be able to assist in ensuring that your hall or complex are safe, looking at card swipe readers to make sure they're green and what that looks like. Mag locks, that big magnet at the top of the door that keeps them latched while they're closed. It's going to malfunction and you're going to know what that means. Fire safety devices, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, alarms in the hallway. How to respond to a crisis, so calling the staff member on duty and UCAPD, the protocol with that, and how to assess situations. Adopt a cop. They'll be able to help you do rounds if you're not comfortable yet, or if you just need someone to help you. You're going to form relationships with them because you're probably going to call them a lot. You'll learn how to appropriately document duty observations, what incident reports look like. That's coming later, but keep that in mind. And the duty form on OrgSync. Yay! Alright, so first things first, duty will start at 4:30 p.m. and at that time you have to call the staff member on duty to check in. The reason we do this is to make sure that everyone is recorded in the duty log and we know who's on duty and for what building. Alright, so during your office hours, which are between 4:30 and 6:30, in either your office, the clubhouse, or whatever designated area you have in your lobby, it can be fun. But make sure you're keeping the door open so that you're visible and that residents can come by and talk to you or ask any questions they have. You can do a passive program during this time as well. We want you to have fun and not be bored in your office hours. Make sure you check to see if your supervisor has assigned you a task to be completed during your office hours or if they have something that you need to be aware of that's going to happen. Go ahead and make sure that you can do a round or do some homework. Make it your own, but make sure you're visible. Your first round should be between 4:30 and 7. And your supervisor will let you know if your first round should be before or after your office hours. What is a round, you ask? No, it's not a circle, and no, it's not a roundabout. It's something you do in your hall or complex. You will walk around while you're on duty, making sure that your hall or complex are safe, that things are going well socially, facility needs are taken care of in your community, and just making sure that the residents, if they have any needs, you're there for them, and you're making sure you're looking at things in case safety is breached. You have 5 senses, and guess what? You get to use them all while you're on duty. Our expectation for you is that you document what those senses help discover on your duty log form. The ones that you will use the most is sight, but you can definitely give the others some exercise when making rounds. A few examples that are something you might find while on duty: animals in the hall. You have to look for them, hear them, and maybe you'll even smell them, especially if they have a litter. Trash or smells in the complex or stairwells or in your community areas and kitchens. Residents' art, potentially on walls, who knows. Drunk residents are absolutely going to potentially use your hearing, but sight as well. Friendly residents that like to chat a lot. Residents horseplay or prepping for intramurals. Either way, no matter what you find, whether it's new or something you've seen before, it's good or bad, there's going to be a space on the form to document it, so keep your eyes open and all your other senses. There is a buddy system in place for duty, which we call primary and secondary people on duty. The primary, of course, is who will be utilized first and attend to most situations. The secondary is there as a resource for backup, or if there are multiple things going on at the same time, both people on duty can respond. This is something that could happen during the week, or it also could happen on the weekend. Some have just on the weekend, but either way, you'll know your building and your complex community best. You can do rounds together or you can do them just the primary. It's up to what you and your staff decide. Round 1 should be between 4:30 and 7 p.m. Round 2 between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And round 3 should be between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. This is arranged so that your residents don't memorize what time you go on duty. Take a moment to look at the differences between the two, secondary and primary. I hope you paid attention because these are definitely going to be on an assessment at the end of training. Good tips about rounds are to try to not make your rounds at the same time every day. And like I just mentioned, your residents will remember when you do, if you do have a scheduled time. So make sure you're changing it up. Remember all of the senses that you have your entire life because you're going to need to document everything you find on duty, which remember is on the OrgSync duty log. Now that you've completed your office hours and all of your rounds, it's time to document what you found on duty on the log on OrgSync. A really good tip to use is if something happened during duty, whether it was during or not during your rounds, write it down in some form so that you have it to reference when you actually do write your duty log. To submit a duty log, go to MyUCA, find or click OrgSync. In the search bar, type your building's name, for example, STEM Residential College. Click on your building's name, for in this example, STEM Residential College, so that it takes you to the hall portal. When you are finally on your portal for your hall or complex, search for the form that's labeled Duty Log. Now on the right-hand side, click the green button that says Go to Form. Click Begin Form and then fill out your duty log from there. I'm sure you'll know by this point that every building is different and calls for different needs, so make sure you're looking for the reminders your supervisor put at the top of your form. These may be unique to your building or complex, so it's very important to make sure you're looking there. Alright, again, just to make sure, click Begin Form and that will start the duty log. What's important for duty logs is that you're very accurate and you give as much detail as possible. And the reason we need as much detail as possible is because if something were to happen, we need to reference this log. And if you put something very minimum like resident fell down, that doesn't really help us in the future, so please give as much detail as you can. As I mentioned before, the helpful tip to write down things as they happen so you don't have to worry about remembering later. It's still a very good tip. However, as the night or weekend goes on, make sure you hit save and finish later if you are updating it as you go. Whatever your method is, there's only one submission at the end, so make sure you know that if you press save or finish later, you're not pressing finish. Wonderful! You're done! You've done your duty, you've done your rounds, and you've done your log. You've earned yourself a cup of coffee because college students love coffee at night. Go ahead and treat yourself. Have fun with your assessment, and I'll see you around.